go to another division that has South in it.
Ooh.
The AFC South don't look now. Okay? They starting to become the AFC beast. Everybody starts talking about how strong all these other, divisions are. And the AFC South was a laughingstock. Had more wins in the playoffs than the NFC East. Just
how about that?
Would like to let everybody know. That was a rookie quarterback, so he's going to be here for the next 20 years in the AFC South. That Tennessee Titans say, we got Will Levis. We certainly do. We don't know what we have in him, but we got him. We got Callahan coming in. He's selling repair parts for the American man. Because that's who he is.
And that's who he works for.
That's who he works for.
That's who he cares
and he's bringing his dad in.
Exactly.
His dad did the same exact thing.
Family.
Who knows what the offense will look like with the Titans? They're going through a full rebuild, reculture down there. Maybe Will Levis is a guy. But they signed Mason Rudolph yesterday off the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The big one.
Remember, Pittsburgh Steelers, Mason Rudolph at the end of his career at Pittsburgh Steelers, lighting up the scoreboard, throwing it around. The entire city of Pittsburgh was chanting this man's name when just a year before that they were hoping that he would get out of town. Big babyface turn for Mason Rudolph because of how he played on the field, how he carried himself. And I think he would say he became the best version of himself while he was at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers fans fell in love with Mason Rudolph. He's now at the Tennessee Titans.
Whoa.
Tennessee Titans fans go, okay, well, Levis, Mason Rudolph, we got guys that can spin it a little bit.
Yeah.
For sure.
Fans weren't the only ones that saw that happen.
Yeah.
Other players around the league saw that.
Yeah. Very quick. They saw it very quickly.
Free agents around the league saw that. Calvin Ridley said, get me to Tennessee.
Now.
Yeah. I need to be in Tennessee stat. Calvin Ridley, represented by Mulugeta. Mulugeta posted a photo of this moment right here where Calvin Ridley agrees to a $90+ million deal with the Tennessee Titans to play wide receiver opposite of D-Hop, I believe, which is quite a tandem for the Tennessee Titans to have here in the AFC South. But Mulugeta gets another deal done. And a lot of people are saying, Calvin Ridley was linked to the Patriots. Calvin Ridley was linked back to the Jags. Nobody had the Titans in play. Soon as Mason Rudolph gets signed by the Titans, Calvin Ridley and Mulugeta knew exactly where they needed to go. This comeback story for Calvin Ridley is a beautiful one. I'm incredibly pumped and proud of him. I'm happy for him. We don't know him at all other than just watching his story from afar. He's the man, obviously, was suspended for a year, found himself, if you read the what's that one from
Players Tribune?
The Players Tribune article that he wrote, basically talking about him being the best version of himself, taking the year's suspension to learn about himself, get healthier than he's ever been, play great ball with the Jacksonville Jaguars, a team that we all thought was potentially going to go on a run, turn around everything for him, and now he gets a $90+ million bag from Tennessee. Good for him, and good for the Titans investing big here in an offseason in which we didn't know what the hell they were going to do.
Yeah, I feel like every team who wanted a wide receiver wanted Calvin Ridley. Like, he was at the top of everybody's list. As a Patriots fan, I wanted Calvin Ridley very bad. The Colts, you wanted Calvin Ridley. I know Tony even threw his hat in the ring with Calvin Ridley. And, obviously with Mike Williams getting released from the Chargers, yesterday, that adds to the market. So as a fan of a team who didn't get him, you hope that you can kind of set your sights on the next guy up, Mike Williams. But at the same time, I saw a lot of Titans fans reacting to it. Super pumped. This is awesome. And then finding out he was 29 years old has kind of changed some people's mindsets. I, for one, do not care. He
doesn't play like he's 20.
No, who gives a shit? I do not care.
And 29 is your prime. They say, like, the peak body is, 28 to 30 or 2 or something.
And he didn't take hits for a year and a half, almost 2 years.
Yeah, which I guess you can add on as a benefit. He even got healthier throughout those years. But, I can understand 29-year-old wide receiver getting $90+ million at a brand-new organization where you don't even know who the quarterback's going to be yet. It's certainly something that Titans fans could go, what the hell's going on? But I assume Titans fans asking what the hell's going on had questions when Vrabes was fired, when, maybe A.J. Brown was traded on draft day. There's been a lot of things that have happened in the Titans fandom over the last 5 years, we'll say, that could lead them to maybe not trust the entire process. But remember, this is a whole new building. Whole new building, whole new coaching staff, whole new vision for what the future should look like, and now you're kind of watching them build it. And I think there's a connection to Jacksonville as well.
Yeah, his wide receiver coach is now in Tennessee, and I guess they got along very well. But like the Titans could have went two ways after Vrabes gets fired and Derrick Henry's gone and Tannehill's gone, like it's the end of an era there. And they signed Lloyd Cushenberry, who was one of, like, people had as like the top center on the market, and then they go get Tony Pollard. Now they go get Calvin Ridley. So they made additions to those are 3 big additions to their offense for Levis if he's going to be the guy going
What's
forward.
the deal in the AFC South?
Well, they know it's the best. They know it's the best division in the league.
You don't have to say that. I understand where you're coming from because the AFC North is pretty good. They just got better with Derrick Henry coming in there.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry in his press conference yesterday, you see how cool he looked?
So big.
It's a no-brainer. He said, and then hey, Derrick, after we heard it, we all thought of course he's a Baltimore.
Perfect.
That's like a perfect fit for them. So obviously there's great divisions, great teams everywhere, but the AFC, he's so big, so fast, so strong.
Huge.
And now he has like a chip on his shoulder probably because the Titans team that he's only been with are like, we're kind of moving on.
Done.
But there's no gimmies. You're talking about in the North and
in the South, there's no gimmies.
There's no gimmies. There's a lot of divisions where there's no gimmies, and I think the South is one of them for sure.
Yeah, it's becoming that. Houston Texans make a lot of plays. Tennessee Titans make a lot of plays. Indianapolis Colts signed Joey Flacco.
No big deal.
He'll be joining us in about 30 seconds or so. Cannot wait to talk to him because we were very confused by his market because Jameis goes to Cleveland. Jacoby goes to New England.
Darnold.
And he had ties.
Darnold goes to Minnesota.
Tyrod to the Jets.
Marcus Mariota goes to
Washington.
the Commanders.
Minshew.
Goes to the Raiders. So backup quarterbacks. Starting whatever,
Yeah.
hybrid quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Competing.
Hybrid quarterbacks because that might be what the new NFL is.
Yeah.
With how many backups played last year.
Bingo.
Might be like, hey, you're going to need a whole quarterback room. A lot of people had that vision in the past. I'd say a third of the league was like, hey, you need a good backup. And you're paying a good backup too, just in case. Because if your guy goes down, you're screwed. Then there's some teams that were like, well, if your guy goes down, you're screwed anyways.
Yeah.
Even if you get the best backup, are you going to be able to go? For instance, Peyton Manning, I think there was a mindset Jim Sorgi was an incredible quarterback, but Jim Sorgi had to go to the Giants to get a good deal. There's no good deal coming from Bill Polian with Peyton Manning as your quarterback.
Right. Yeah.
The good deals were all spent on wide receivers, tight ends, Peyton Manning, running back. That's where we're spending our money. If Peyton goes down, we're screwed.
We're not going to win very many games.
Yeah, we're screwed anyways. That's kind of his mindset. But now it feels like more teams are like, hey, got to have at least somebody.
Yeah.
Thank God we had Gardner Minshew last year in Indianapolis. Got to be able to have a guy that can do it. Matt Hasselbeck came in for Andrew Luck. He won us a bunch of games whenever we weren't supposed to because Andrew Luck gets hurt. It's very vital role. He's in Tennessee now from Pittsburgh.
There you go.
Congrats.
Congrats to Mason Rudolph getting a new place, new face, obviously down in Nashville. We assume backup Will Levis, but hey, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know in
You
that
do
entire
not
thing.
know.
But as soon as Mason Rudolph signed over there, Calvin Ridley ended up with the Tennessee Titans for $92 million deal, negotiated by Mulugeta that saw $50 million guaranteed for a wide receiver at the age of 29. Congrats to Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
AJ, how do you feel about it for Calvin Ridley? We did not even hear that the Titans were anywhere near conversations or chatter for Calvin Ridley. We did know that a lot of fan bases wanted a new weapon on their squad, and Calvin Ridley was the belle of the ball. What are your thoughts on him going to Tennessee?
Well, it's fun watching the highlights, watching him get behind so many defenses.
Against
but
Tennessee.
Why did this kind of play out like it did? I know he said something, chess, not checkers, all of that. How did they keep this all under wraps? And also, why did the timing was a bit weird too? Why wasn't it early?
I'm not 100% sure. This is a Mulugeta operation, though. That's,
I mean, their whole plan worked. This is unbelievable deal. Awesome. Good for you. I would love to know all the behind the scenes and how it all played out.
Yeah, me too. And I would also like to hear what other teams were actually interested, as opposed to the teams that are just being talked about as being interested. And then Tennessee maybe just being able to slide in and not really make any waves. That's a big weapon to add to the Titans, though, alongside D-Hop. If Will Levis is a guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And if Callahan's offense is able to translate, we know Mason Rudolph can get the ball to people. It's like Tennessee Titans have a plan, seemingly. Tennessee Titans are moving into a new chapter. They know that. They're getting a new stadium upgrade, I think.
Yep.
So good for Nashville, good for Tennessee making plays.
Huge.
Brandon, the biggest party deck, I believe, or outdoor deck in the world.
Rooftop bar.
Rooftop bar.
Yeah, biggest rooftop bar. I think Nashville, big rooftop bar place.
Yep.